California, my home state, is just amazing. How do we set up an LLC here? Well, let's start from why would you want to start an LLC in California? What are the advantages? Obviously, a market of $3.6 trillion. California has a GDP larger than France or United Kingdom. The market is huge, so that's the one biggest incentive to be willing to start an LLC in California. Second, you get access to Silicon Valley and its talent. Number three, it's the high purchasing power. California has one of the highest GDP per capita in the United States. And finally, you get access to business accelerators and venture capital, especially in places like Palo Alto or San Francisco. Now, there are some disadvantages too. California has one of the highest tax rates in the country. Processing times are relatively long because there's just too many applications. The level of bureaucracy is pretty high in California. Number of tax forms, filings, and licenses you're required to obtain before you can start your business is pretty daunting. And number four, cost of labor is pretty expensive here. With high GDP per capita, obviously comes with requirement to pay your employees pretty high level of salaries. Well, now let's go to the fees and taxes. The registration itself is free. There's a franchise tax of $800 that's due typically by April 15 of current year, even though if your tax year is different from January 1st to December 31st, then it will be the fourth month after the end of the tax year. So for example, if tax year ends on October 1st, then it will be due 4 months from October, which falls, I believe, on January 15. LLC fee, there is an additional LLC fee, which is a tax based on a revenue. And taxes based on revenue are the least pleasant because there are basically no deductions. So starting from $900 if your revenue exceeds $250,000, ending with $11,790 if your revenue exceeds $5 million. And it's due by June 15 of current year if you're using the calendar year as your tax year. Otherwise, it's 6 months from the beginning of your tax year, right? So now let's go to the registration process itself. So we're going to go to the Secretary of the State's website section called bizfileonline.sos.ca.gov. On the right corner, you'll click on log in, and if you haven't registered yet, go through a registration process. After, we're going to go to register a business, corporation, limited liability company, or limited partnership. So we're going to click on this. Now, it's going to ask us about the forms. So we're going to go to Articles of Organization, California LLC. Now, other forms are required for the next one. So Articles of Organization with Statement of Conversion. If you're converting something else to an LLC, registration out of state if you have an LLC in a different state, but you also want to conduct business in California. However, if we are just starting our business in California and we want it to be an LLC, we're going to go to Articles of Organization. There's File Online. Now, some disclosures about privacy. Name of the submitter will be the person who is submitting. Because it's done for educational reasons, we're just going to make up a name. I'm going to come up with a made up email address and also a phone number. I'm going to click next. So here California is asking that whether we're providing professional services. Now, LLC protects our assets from personal liability. However, certain professions like doctors, like accountants, are providing professional services, which means they cannot form regular LLCs. They must form professional corporations or other legal entities. So here we're just testifying we do not provide any professional services. We're going to click next. Now, limited liability company name, it's asking us whether we have reserved the name. We'll say no, we have not. Here we just come up with another made up company. Here it's gonna ask us for an address. This must be the initial street address, must be an actual address, cannot be a PO box. So we'll do, let's say 123 Best Street. We'll say San Francisco. And here we can just copy this. Or if our mailing address is different, or we are going to use a PO box, we can enter the PO box. Now, gonna click next. Here it's asking for our agent for service of process, also known as registered agent. If you reside in California, you may be your own registered agent. However, the requirement is you must be open for business, right? So if someone wants to file a complaint against your business, and let's say you're using your home address, or you're just hiring some co-working place, an office that's never visited, and someone actually wants to goes to service you, and there's no one there to pick up mail, you are risking actually defaulting on certain legal procedures. So gonna click, as I said, you have two options: either hire a registered agent or be your own servicing agent, as long as you're open to business, right? As long as you're able to pick up servicing requests. And if you do not reside in California, then you will have to hire a professional registered agent. Now, in this case, because it's my home state, I'm gonna say individual. Again, this information is just for educational reasons. We are not going to submit anything, right? So we'll just copy our address from here. We'll click next. Now, purpose of the business, this is where it's asking us how the LLC is managed, right? So if it's a single member LLC, if you are the business owner, you don't have any business partners, you'll just say, and you're not planning on hiring someone to manage your LLC, you can just say all LLC members, right? So this basically means that whoever formed the LLC, whoever basically generates the revenue for the LLC, oversees its operations, is also the manager. Now, if let's say there are more than one members, or you're planning on hiring a manager, then you will say one manager or more than one managers. Now, file date, you can file as of today, or you can file with a future date. Now, we'll choose the current date. In most cases, I don't see a reason why it has to be a future date. It's asking for attachments. You don't really need to. In most cases, we'll skip this step. Now, here it's asking for a signature because basically we have to attest to it, that to the name of the LLC, to the registered agent, contact information, and we can either do multiple signatures or just one signature. Now, obviously, because we're not actually forming an LLC, I will not be signing anything, but normally you would click on either one signature or multiple signatures and follow the prompts to sign. Processing fees. Now, because we're doing this online, there's a $70 online processing fee unless you choose to mail it. Now, you can also get a certified copy for extra $5, and you can also have a 24 hours expedited service for $350 extra, or you can even have a same-day service for $750 extra. So you choose your appropriate option, and then you go to file document and send for signatures. Because we have some red flags which we couldn't submit for obvious reasons, we couldn't fill out for obvious reasons, we won't be able to submit. But this is all you do, and once you're done, you'll get a confirmation, you'll get a receipt for your payment, and then you can go to my work queue. I won't be clicking because that may expose some private information, But once you click on My Work Queue, it will show you the current status. And that's all you have to do to register your LLC with California. If you have any questions, let me know.